Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Mickey's Corner. Man, things are kind of nuts out there right now, right? Between the COVID and the financial issues, it's kind of bananas. I kind of wanted to have a little talk today, just kind of go through some things that I've seen in the news, places I've looked, things that I've seen out there, right? So, one of the biggest issues we're having right now is, of course, COVID-19, the coronavirus. It seems to be spreading everywhere. I know someone personally that he got corona and has recovered, so that's a great thing. And I'm glad to see him and his family doing much better. There seems to be an issue, and it's an issue of personal liberty. In this nation, we have our freedoms and our liberties. You do not have to wear a mask if you do not want to. That's your right. It's smart to do so, but it's not your right. Everybody's going to believe what they want to believe. You can't force anybody to believe anything they don't want to believe, right? It is what it is. Now, what else do we have going on? We've had a lot of issues with the police lately, and let's take a minute to talk about BLM. So, BLM is a political organization associated with the Democratic Party, and a lot of the money that's raised by BLM goes to fund the Democratic Party. A lot of people don't realize that. And I'm not knocking BLM as an entity in what it's trying to represent. As a white male speaking to the black community, I understand what you're going through. I really do. There's a lot of things that you're dealing with in your communities that are kind of to an unfair advantage to you. And I just hope that your leaders, I pray that the leaders of the black communities will rise up and take the right approach. Let's get these families back together. Let's get these single families back together. Men, take responsibilities for your action. Women, don't always look for an easy route when it comes to the men. You know, these are legal issues that are going on every day right now in this country. So, with that being said, let's look at the markets. Let's take a minute to look at the financial markets. It looks like the financial markets are really seem to be really strong right now, but be very, very careful. There are a lot of indicators out there saying that we're in a huge bubble. If we are in a huge bubble, man, if you're in the markets, you're trying to make some income, I understand, but you might want to start considering some safe harbors, some places to put your money away from the market. Just things, take a look at the financial sectors and don't only just pay attention to the positive, you got to look at the negative too. One of the big indicators are that gold and silver is trying to make a bounce. Same with Bitcoin. So digital currencies and such. Usually when gold and silver and digital currencies bounce, it's because people feel an insecurity in the markets. They feel that the money in the markets is not safe. And all you have to do is look around and realize retail markets have taken a huge hit. Just go to the mall, go to the stores in the hardest hit areas. Entire sections of the towns are shut down. People are foreclosing. They're losing out on their commercial properties. Their money is just not there. They're not paying the rents. They're not paying for their foods and services. If you own a restaurant, you can't afford, if you don't have customers, you can't afford to buy food. These are things that we need to consider. All I'm saying is play it safe. Take a minute, think about what's going on. Don't let the politics and the policies and what's going on in government affect your decision making. Man, you got a president in office right now that is known to make some pretty bold and statements and bold claims. Sometimes he's correct, sometimes he's not. However you feel about the president, that's between you and your own conscience. I just hope that everybody makes a wise decision going into the future, because let's face reality. A lot of the things we're facing right now are engineered. The markets are engineered by the Federal Reserve. The coronavirus is being engineered by politicians it's a political engineering. They're using it as a weapon against us. Be smart. And the greatest enemy of a dictatorship is unity. If the people of this nation come together and fight against this corruption and this propaganda and the manipulation of data and the manipulation of the minds, the greatest fear of any politician out there that intends to do harm is when a black man, a white man, a yellow man, a purple man, a green man, it doesn't matter. If we come together as a group and find the solutions to our problems without government, that is what takes away their power. And we take our power back. And I pray that every one of us take the time to think about our future with our neighbors. Remember, one of the greatest commandments in all of religion is to love thy neighbor as thyself. Take the time to go meet your neighbor. No one can do it alone. Nobody can face these great troublous times alone. History will teach us this. Look at the Great Depression. Look at the Spanish flu. People working with people, not people working with the governments. The governments are there to serve us. But we as a people have to work together as a team to watch each other's back. Let's look at the realities of a financial crisis. Look at the Great Depression, even going into World War II. A lot of people had rations. They weren't able to go out and buy milk and eggs. They had coupons and they had to ration things. And if it wasn't for their neighbors, if it wasn't for the victory gardens and the people working for each other, with each other, a lot of people wouldn't have thrived and survived through those times. We're very possibly entering the same environment that we were facing back then. And don't rule out war, because what is the number one thing governments like to do when things get critical? They go to war. It takes the minds of the people away from their problems and focuses it on a central enemy that may be coming. It probably is coming. There's a huge currency war going on right now with oil. The petrodollar is under attack. The United States dollar as a reserve currency for the world is under attack. What are we going to do as the United States? What are we going to do if we go off the petrodollar and now it's the petro yuan or the petro renminbi or the petro ruble or name a country, and they decide from that moment forward that we are no longer going to buy and sell oil based on the US dollar? That is a huge hit to the United States. We have trillions and trillions of dollars in currency floating around the world that would go down in value tremendously. So we need to prepare for hyperinflation. We need to prepare. The simplest of things. Do you have eggs, chickens, gardens? It's very important. Do you have the tools for gardens? These are things I just wanted to talk about because I intend to, moving forward, I intend to do kind of a news thing where I'm going to be digging into the news. I'll put links in the descriptions and of the video. Each video, I'll put a link in the description talking about where I'm finding these sources. We can't always rely upon Yahoo. We can't always rely upon MSNBC or CNN or even Fox News. We have to be smarter than that. So I'm trying to offer you a look into some of the darker corners of the internet, things that people are finding out, research that people are looking into without any credit. It's funny how that works, but part of the propaganda is the fact that they control the flow of information. So hopefully we'll be discussing that more in the future. This is just something I wanted to cover today to kind of just give everybody an idea of what I'm going to try to do in the future. I will continue to make other videos, just how-tos and do-it-yourselves and things that we need as a people for just around the house kind of stuff. But for today, I just wanted to cover the basics and just kind of make an introduction to what I want to try to do. And don't forget, please like and follow, subscribe, notify so that when new content comes out, you'll be made aware. It's very important, especially for me and for you, because you will receive new information. And I promise you, I'm going to dig deep into some of these subjects. But also, it helps me because every time you subscribe, every time you like, it feeds YouTube the algorithms, and it gives me more coverage and more opportunities to talk to more people. I have a lot of experience in these types of things. I have a lot of experience in survival, just outright hardship. There's a lot of things I've been through. I'm aware of a lot of different types of scenarios, and I want to share those with you. Just for example, a quick story. While most people were getting ready to go to the prom, and this was high school, I was already on the streets, and I stayed on the streets for years, and I saw a lot of things. And I want to share some of those stories as well, and things that we can do that I learned out on the streets, simple things to help us prepare mentally and physically for hardship. And let's hope we never get there. I hope that this country stays strong and it continues to strive and grow, but we always have to be prepared for the worst case and hope for the best case. I really appreciate your time. Thanks for listening. Don't forget to like and subscribe and come back for more content in the future. And other than that, man, I really appreciate it, and you have a sweet day. Thanks. Hey guys, don't forget, check out the videos over there, and like and subscribe. Don't forget the notifications, and let me help this channel grow. I appreciate everybody that came by.